So what does this mean for 20th Century? Because their stock's up, isn't it? Like this is good stuff.
So, the studio's banking on some of these superhero films to continue driving the results for their film and entertainment segment at 21st Century Fox, and that's the second largest business for them. It makes up about 1/3 of their top line, and just to give you some perspective, for the film and entertainment segment, 5 of their top 10 opening weekends have been from Marvel titles. Deadpool is now number 1. The other 4 are the X-Men movies.
Right.
Okay. And then the 2 of the others that you mentioned were actually the Star Wars titles too, the prequels. So they definitely are kind of depend on those proven franchises. But the thing is, they also have a lot of great movies on tap. The studio has more Marvel coming with X-Men Apocalypse, very, very highly anticipated.
Which we saw a preview for that
exactly.
in Deadpool. So.
And they also have the standalone Gambit origin story coming out soon, later this year. And they also have long awaited sequel with Independence Day Resurgence.
That movie, do you realize how much money the original Independence Day made?
Yeah, it was actually coincidentally one of Fox's highest grossing films of all time. And they also have Assassin's Creed coming out, and that's based
on... that's the video game. Yeah.
A huge video game franchise that has sold over 80 million total copies in its run, because they have had I think 9 installments of the game at this point. So that's also has a lot of fans excited, and hopefully can be a big blockbuster for them. But with all that said, they have this really strong slate they have this really strong slate of movies lined up. But the thing is, as is always the case with a Hollywood-based business like this, it can be really hard sometimes to call how successful these movies are. They had a huge flop last year with Fantastic Four, same studio. So it can be really choppy, it can swing high or low with unexpected hits like this one with Deadpool, and disappointments like Fantastic Four. You'd think the whole superhero thing is pretty proven at this point, but they still have their flops as well. But at the same time, I think management showed a lot of... They seem to show or prove that they kind of understood their audience with this movie. They marketed it brilliantly.
Flawlessly.
And the buzz in terms of social media and all these other places just really added to, I think, the success for the movie over the weekend. So hopefully that's something they keep in mind and can leverage going forward. And in terms of their other segments, just for the company and the rest of the businesses at 21st Century Fox, they have the presidential election, which should really help their television and cable network programming for the remainder of their fiscal 2016 and at least half of fiscal 2017, especially most of them in the news with this potential nomination coming up for the Supreme Court justice. Just I think a lot of people are going to be glued, obviously, to some of Fox's networks.
It's a good time to be Rupert Murdoch.
Yes. And another thing is that we're noticed from a lot of other content providers. Think Disney as well, for example, is they're seeing higher programming costs for their networks, and a lot of that's being driven by sports. So Fox specifically mentioned soccer, Major League Baseball, college football rights as having increase in costs, contributing to that, or contributing to higher programming costs for that segment. And that's something we're seeing across the board. Live sports have this very obvious understanding that they are the hold for a lot of these, cord cutters and things like that, and so they can charge these premium prices. And then otherwise, the stock overall is actually down about 30% since the end of 2014. I think management's really focused on returning capital to shareholders too. So they authorized $5 billion of share repurchases last summer. They expect to to use up that authorization by August 2016, and in the past 5 years, they've reduced their shares outstanding about 25%, so pretty significant.
Yeah.
2015 they bought back about $6 billion worth of shares. The year before that, almost $4 billion. So very focused. The company's definitely very focused on that. I'm interested to see. It might only be the second segment in terms of film entertainment, but just always nice to have fun, fan favorite kind of movies coming out like this.
For sure. Okay.